Now, you went to her stateroom and she was gone.
I went to
Did you go to check on her?
No, when they were fighting, and it was very, very loud, and you could hear things being thrown around the stateroom. It was just a whole lot of noise and a whole lot of yelling. And I started to get very concerned, so I knocked on the door. And Robert Wagner opened the door and he says, "Go away." I said, "Well, I better go away," you know. So I went up to the pilot house, and I turned the music on because I didn't want them to think that I was eavesdropping.
You hear this going on in the stateroom. They're throwing things around in there. There's nothing to throw in there except luggage and belongings and that sort of thing, right?
Correct.
So you go there, he tells you to go away. Then it gets quiet, right?
Yes. When everything got quiet, I thought something just isn't right. So I went to the back of the boat, and Robert Wagner's standing at the back of the boat. And he looked at me and he said, "Natalie's missing." I thought, I really couldn't comprehend it. He said, "Search the boat."
That can't take, that's this
No,
long.
that was very quick.
You get back to Robert Wagner, who's standing still on the back of the boat?
Yes,
Okay, so it's obviously she's not on the boat.
obviously, you know.
Okay, so your conclusion is what?
I just didn't know, you know.
Well, she's either on the boat or she's in the water.
I said, we need to call for help. I said, we had a big searchlight on the top of the boat. I said, I'm going to go turn that searchlight on to see if we can see her. He says, "Don't do that." You know, I said, "Don't do that." I said, "We need to call somebody. We need to call for some help." And he said, "No, we're not going to do that."
You're the captain of the boat, and you know you've got a passenger likely in the water. Why do you not do what you have to do?
I was never the captain on the boat. When he bought the boat, he hired me to maintain the boat. RJ was a great boat handler. He was always in charge. He was the one that, I was the one that tied the lines. He was the one that drove.
As a common sense person standing there, did it not occur to you to look for someone in the water? If they're not on the boat, they're in the water.
You could see the look on his face. I was a little bit on the scared side.
You were afraid for your life?
Correct.